Ooh, okay. So kind of a deep, dire situation.
A dire situation.
Basically, what happened is they were trying to evict the ex-president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, from the residence. He is missing, was missing. He was found actually recently. But they found him not to be there. But they did take over the building. And that was because of a long journey of unrest and difficult situations, dealing with debt. They had a lot of creditors to pay back. And what was worse was possibly the government was taking money, was taking a cut from the taxes or from the sort of loans that they were getting to, help out the farms or help out the country in general. I mean, basically, they were possibly, allegedly, being very shady with how they were dealing with money. And not only that, but now the nation is deep in debt. Tourism industry has suffered due to some incidents with terrorism and also due to kind of new laws that have come up ruining the tea. Well, not ruining, but making tea farmers have a lot harder time with producing what they used to produce in the past.
Plus, they've had COVID to deal with, I guess, like everybody else, and various weather. I guess this does happen periodically, but it just has happened on top of other issues. And it just seems like a lot of crises all at the same time. It sounds so sad. Situation.
It's a multitude of situations that have culminated into one giant problem. And like, even if they start over with a new government, which it kind of sounds like they're going to try to do, it's going to take time, but I think it's a good step. The creditors who might need to be paid back, if they see a big step being taken to have a new government, they might be a bit more forgiving with that debt. I don't know, but
it's just so sad, though. You know that they're going to have to go through a long period of austerity to get all this money paid back, and the blame may well land on the shoulders of the former president.
And that's what might be a bit scary too, talking outside of the article. Who's to say that, the next government won't be acting in a similar way? Anyways, one thing we did learn in the article is that the security forces were a bit unresponsive when it came to the actual security of the palace or the place of residence for the former president. Why do you think they were a bit lax with strictly following the security rules?
Yeah, I have to say I did wonder, why was it so easy to evict a president? But then I remembered, I guess he wasn't evicted, but it did seem surprisingly easy on January the 6th when those rioters sort of broke into
the Capitol.
Again, security people, I have questions. Do your job.
And many people had questions, and the general consensus for January 6th is overwhelming force. The security for the Capitol was very poor compared to the crowd that showed up. And they were, I believe, told to let them in because it was becoming a situation where the officers probably would either die or get heavily injured.
I see.
They would start a riot which might actually burn down the Capitol and the surrounding area. So they were like, just let them in, we'll hide everybody and just let them come through, kind of get it out of their system, and then we'll get it from there. And that's what happened. There's at least one brave officer that led them down a wrong corridor where the senators and everyone were being led down a different corridor. And that was quite a good situation. But yeah, it seems like with the knowledge of what was happening on that day, there could have been maybe extra security, but hindsight 2020.
Indeed.
However, in my opinion, they didn't like the president either, and they probably weren't getting paid very well. This is for the Sri Lankan thing.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, it went back to Sri Lanka. I think maybe the security forces just were fed up themselves.
Yeah, they may have been also super unhappy with the president. Do you think that the rumors are true about these government officials taking a big cut of the money that's coming in for infrastructure, these accusations of corruption? What's your opinion?
I would actually be extremely shocked if they didn't, to tell you the truth. And I am a cynic when it comes to this type of topic. I would be shocked if any government official anywhere in the world wasn't taking a little bit more than they maybe should, either in favors or in actual money. So in this case, yeah, I think the rumors could be true. I would say that it would not be a big news story. It would be kind of like, oh yeah,
That's what
government be
politicians
government.
do.
Yeah, that's what politicians do. Well, let's take a dip into that vocabulary, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Evict.
Evict.
Dire.
Dire.
Creditor.
Creditor.
Service a debt.
Service a debt.
Take a dip.
Take a dip.